Unit 4. Negotiation. This unit is designed to introduce the art of negotiating to the learners. It will familiarize you with the types of negotiation, the characteristics of a successful negotiator, and the different psychological profiles of the negotiator. After acquiring knowledge from this unit, you will be able to identify the type of negotiation, identify the psychological profile of the negotiating party, negotiation is a communication process intended to reach a beneficial outcome for two or more negotiating parties. Negotiation is an art that requires knowledge, understanding, and practice. Persuading and negotiating are forms of communication. Persuasion is always focused on achieving one's own goals, while negotiating is aimed at the best possible outcome for both parties. The experienced negotiator knows that the outcome will have long-term consequences for the other side. First of all, the negotiator must clearly define his goals. For the successful negotiations, the negotiator has to determine what exactly makes his position favorable and unfavorable. The course of the negotiation may also alter if some unexpected factors such as the client's behavior, new information, time, place, or unplanned event occur. Therefore, a successful negotiator must have the ability to adapt and change his approach. At the same time, she or he must be able to keep moving towards the goal. A foundation for the successful negotiation encompasses a good strategy, knowledge of negotiating techniques and body language, well-prepared topics, materials, atmosphere, early prevention of any anticipated disturbance, phone calls, visitors, as well as predetermine the lowest and the highest goal. The negotiation type depends on the motive, goal, and desired or anticipated length of business cooperation. One negotiating party may try to reach either one-sided or mutual interests, or it can be more or less ready to compromise. According to those criteria, the main negotiation types are as follows. Distributive negotiation: win-lose. In a distributive negotiation, one side often adopts an extreme position in an attempt to reach its personal goals, using a combination of pressure and blackmail, while the other side is left with no much options but to agree to less than expected. Such negotiations lead to dissatisfaction in further collaboration and partnerships, which is not sustainable in the long run. Integrative negotiation: win-win. In the integrative negotiation, double win solution is achieved. Both parties seek to find an arrangement that is in the best interests of all. The negotiators are open to the agreement, they respect opinions of the other side and take into account their mutual interests. This type of negotiations guarantees a long-term collaboration. The give-get principle is the fundamental principle of good negotiations. It indicates the readiness of both negotiators to give something in order to get something, which results in an equilibrium when receiving-giving. Negotiations with the assistance of a third party. There are various reasons for bringing a third party in negotiations in some situations. One party is not skillful in negotiating and needs the negotiator's help. Both or more parties need the help of a third party, negotiator, because they differ in their opinions and are not able to reach a satisfactory outcome. Both sides need the help of a third party, expert, advisor, because they do not have all necessary information. The negotiator should always remain truthful to himself. If he changes his personality during the sale, the other party will recognize insincerity and fakery at the end of the negotiations. That is why it is important not to change yourself but instead your negotiation strategy or method. It is crucial to pay attention to the personality of those who are negotiating at the other end. Identifying their personalities might help in choosing better negotiating strategies, to make a positive impact on another person, to identify motives of the other party, intentionally and unintentionally hidden, to attract more interest to their own goals and to turn the interests of the other party to their advantage, to become a more pleasant interlocutor, etc. Peters, 2001, classified negotiators in 7 psychological types. Dominant. Rough, always want to have control, tough personality, jumping fast off the topic, ignoring arguments of the interlocutor, prone to conflict, turning easily from negotiator into persuader. Extroverted. Superficial approach to negotiation, very similar to the dominant type, they replace roughness with speed, charm and seemingly irrelevant details, and egoism with general phrases about the common interests. Introverted. Reluctant to confide in others, have a tendency to control, suspicious, they do not like and avoid negotiations and expect full achievement of their goals. A lot of patience is required in dealing with them. Disingenuous. Pleasant, polite, nice, look like unskilled negotiators who would agree on all the conditions, just to bring an unpleasant situation to an end. If negotiations continue for a long time, they are extremely dangerous because they are able to turn the interlocutor into a subordinate party. Actors. Glamorous, with impressive looks, seem to prefer the form of negotiating to its subject, acting as if they do not care about the final result, as long as everything looks good from the outside. Philosophers. Keen on introducing radical changes into existing negotiating rules. They are similar to the dominant negotiators. Their main feature is unpredictability. They change their opinion and appear as if they do not know what they want, but the reality is different. When negotiating with them, one should have control, clear goals and impose the arguments as a basic prerequisite for negotiation. Guards. Often conservative, they possess simple philosophy and traditional values. They take the role of the negotiators most deeply and personally. Their goal is to achieve a positive result in negotiations which will benefit both parties. If the other side crosses the limit and misbehave, they might become unpleasant. Negotiator must always be true to his personality. Negotiation is a two-way process for which a successful negotiator should possess the following characteristics. To have the ability to adjust quickly. To be lenient to a certain level. To be open to an exchange of opinions. To try to think as the other party. To take care of his behavior, being aware of how the other side perceive him. To listen to the interlocutor, not only himself. To have a balance between being resolute and relaxed. And to keep on applying the win-win and give-get negotiation principles.